I'm literally going to be in the Matrix in 2 minutes.
And I'm hacking. Hack faster.
You got to buy me more time. You got to stall 5 minutes.
Hold on, I'm hacking into the mainframe. Reached the firewall. Almost got it.
Welcome to the Trash Taste Podcast. Join us as we dive into the world of underrated, overlooked, and misunderstood media. From B-movies to forgotten albums, we'll be exploring the gems hiding in plain sight and give them the appreciation they deserve. So whether you're a connoisseur of trash or just looking for something different, this is the podcast for you. Let's get started.
Oh my God. you know what?
That's amazing.
We need to use the term connoisseur of trash more often.
Connoisseur of trash.
So
Hello,
yes,
my fellow connoisseurs of trash.
Connoisseurs of trash. This episode is brought to you by AI.
Yes.
Every topic of this podcast is going to be AI related because it's been a big
AI
topic.
generated?
AI generated.
AI generated.
We are not going to come up with any topics of our own because
Yep.
why would we? We have AI for that now. So
If we want to go on a tangent, the AI will decide when we will go on the tangent.
I guess I should crack open our first topic.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, go
Just
for it,
Jump
man.
right
For
into
it.
it.
Just
Okay.
jump right into it.
Got a lot here in TrashCon. All right. So our first topic for today is anime dads, the good, the bad, the ugly. Okay.
Let me talk about the bad.
Okay.
Fucking Goku. All right,
okay,
can we talk about how
sure.
shit of a dad
Sure.
Goku is? Bro,
Pretty shit.
did he like raise his child at all?
I think you could say this about most anime dads,
Yeah.
to be fair.
At least Goku was there.
Most anime dads just don't exist, you know?
Okay, because there's so many bad anime dads. Let's talk about the GOAT anime dads first. Who are the like greatest anime dads of all time?
The greatest anime dads?
Like I'm trying to think of anime dads and I can't
Are
think of
there
any.
good anime dads? I'm trying to think. Who raised their child correctly?
Okay, I have
Okay,
one too.
it's a niche one, but did you ever watch Sweetness and Lightning?
Yes.
That's a goated anime dad.
I did not watch that.
Oh, fuck. You've just opened up an entire...
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that. You've just opened up an entire fucking door for me now. Like fucking everyone with a cute little daughter, like Spike's family.
Yep.
I guess, yeah. What's his name in Spy Family?
Lloyd?
Lloyd.
Lloyd, yeah. Lloyd
Yeah,
Forger.
yeah.
Lloyd Forger, that's it.
It's funny that they're like a fake family and then they're more wholesome than most like real anime families.
They're more put together than most families.
Right.
The thing I find most unbelievable about Spy Family is that he hasn't hit it yet. That's just like...
That's true.
That makes no sense.
It's not part of the mission.
I
you
know it's not part-
It's
I'm
not part
just
of the
saying-
mission, Connor.
It's a side mission.
What? I just want a spin-off where it's just like he gets a new mission. It's just like breed. Make more children. It's like, oh shit, all
We
right.
need more children and make it more convincing. Don't adopt. It looks. Have a pregnant wife. It looks more realistic. Oh,
Yeah,
honey,
dude.
I gotta get you pregnant. It's for the mission.
Dude, Sweetness and Lightning, I remember the part that or not the part, just like the thing that I absolutely loved about that show. Have you watched Sweetness and Lightning?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so it came out a few years ago, obviously, because I watched it. But it's basically...
It's gotta be 5+ years old. At least.
But it's basically it's a slice of life, right? Basically,
Yeah,
it's a slice of life show.
that's fine.
Essentially where there's really cute like I think she's like
All
maybe,
the best dads are in slice of life.
yeah.
To be honest.
There's like this 5 or 6 year old daughter. The mum is dead. I mean, it's like it's literally it's not a spoiler. It's literally the first scene. The mum is dead.
Okay.
And it's basically a dad trying to come to terms with raising their only daughter. But the daughter is like really, I guess, like even though she's super young, she's like I think she's like 4 or 5 years old or something, right?
Yeah.
She like, you know, and obviously they go through the hardships of like, you know, being a single parent and stuff like that and being a single dad. But the daughter is so fucking supportive and wholesome to the dad that every dude who watched that show is just like, I want a daughter like you. You are like the golden child of children that I want to have. And it's so fucking
God,
cute.
you just reminded me of something. I think the manga or show that started this entire like wholesome dad-daughter relationship trend. Talking about good dads, what about Usagi Drop?
I never watched Usagi Drop.
I mean, it's good. Look, good is a subjective term. He's a great dad at the beginning.
Can I get a TLDR?
Super degenerate dad near the end.
Okay, so I'm gonna spoil Usagi Drop. It's fucking.
I'm never gonna watch it. Go ahead.
It's years
Yeah.
old. If you haven't watched Usagi Drop, I doubt you would have watched it.
Yeah.
I doubt this is gonna change anything now. But Usagi Drop, the anime, fucking great.
Yep.
You see this wholesome father-daughter relationship where I can't remember the exact concept of it, but I believe the daughter is like he adopts this daughter, and the anime is this exploration of him learning how to be a dad, and kind of like fathering this adopted daughter and learning feelings and stuff. And then it goes on.
Learning feelings.
Learning some wholesome feelings.
Yep.
Some
That
sounds
wholesome,
nice.
wholesome
Really nice.
feelings.
I'm not going to watch it, but that sounds
Yeah,
nice.
It's really
nice. And then people went on to read the manga, which was, it was very, very wholesome until like kind of like the ending, because obviously because the manga is way more longer running than the anime went, the daughter grows up, and she discovers that she has developed feelings for her adopted father.
Yeah.
And why can't we get anything that's normal?
Basically, the creator, I think, read Orimo and went, yeah, let's do that.
So many mangakas just having like a dark arc where they just become fucking weird.
Because the thing is, this was a really like unironically like a wholesome, innocent show.
It was a really good show.
What the
For the
fuck?
most
so
part.
wholesome and innocent
Yeah.
about this father-daughter relationship, and then
Yeah.
the ending comes, and you're like, "No, please don't."
You have to question the state of the author at that
Yeah.
point. You'd be like, what's
Yeah.
happening in your head? What was going on with this? This felt like the right storyline.
You know what? Like something like this, I could accept if it was like a hentai or something
Yeah.
degenerate.
Okay.
You know, I can accept that. I've seen worse things in hentai. You
But
know?
don't give me, like-
every other fucking other stepmother is like fucking their child. At
Like,
this point.
stepmother's different. All right? It's different. It's different.
Oh yeah, stepmother's
It's different. You wouldn't get it.
But like, don't give me like 10 volumes of some of the most cute,
Yeah, no, that's
wholesome,
fucking
like
weird.
family coming of age story, and
Yeah.
then just turn around and be like, what if we just like made it official?
Yeah.
But in a completely different relationship.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, because I remember reading the manga as well, because I watched the anime first, and I was like, this is great, but I heard there was a continuation.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, sick. I bought all the volumes, reading it. I'm like, okay, this is great, super cute. And then
Yeah.
it literally happens in like the last maybe 4 or 5 chapters.
Okay.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
is this like a
Wow.
spin-off I read? Like, what happened?
Because the worst part is, right, because at first it's just like the daughter like realizing her feelings, and you're like, please don't let this be like the arc and the direction the story is going. And I think the moment where I kind of like just threw the manga on the floor was just when, okay, the daughter is fucking young, she don't know what the fuck she's doing,
Yeah.
but then like the father accepts it as well. I'm like, no, you're meant to be the mature one here.
The one time you had to be an adult, you were just like, nah.
Yeah.
So it's secretly a big debate for grooming.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
like it's just one big
Yeah,
grooming show.
yeah, it's one big grooming manga, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we've decided to do a telling of the priest story from the side of the priest, where he becomes,
Yeah.
it's just like what? A good dad. Is Aaron Yeager's dad a good dad?
Good is
subjective.
Okay, do you believe that there are some kids that are just doomed from the beginning, where it doesn't matter how good the dad could be, where the child is just a spawn of Satan? Where
Yeah.
they can't- do you believe that exists?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Would you say Aaron Yeager falls into that?
Most likely. I'd say
This is complicated. We can make this entire podcast
Okay.
of was Aaron Yeager right?
Discuss. Just have the Fortnite meme. Is Fortnite? Okay.
Aaron Yeager was never
Okay,
wrong.
fine. Also, I don't want to spoil it if people haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Another character then I'll pitch to you. Is Kirito's dad a good dad?
Kirito's dad.
Even though he wasn't there, but is he a good dad for raising Kirito?
Like how so?
So it turned out as Kirito. Is that like, did he do the job or would you?
Are you talking about Kirito's dad or Kirito as a dad?
Kirito's dad. Wait, Kirito was a dad too.
Yeah, Kirito is
Kirito's
also a dad.
who adopted with Yui with fucking Asuna, right?
Yeah.
I blocked that from my memory.
same
I didn't
here.
even know
I
about-
completely forgot.
That's because
about
that's the moment where Eso went to shit. That's
Yeah.
why.
very early on.
Yeah, very early on.
Yeah, Kirito has a dad. Did you know that? Did you know that?
I don't
Does
see
he
him.
actually make an appearance?
Yeah.
Really?
Is he good?
Wait,
yeah.
when?
Huh?
When?
In Alice's Asian.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Because spoiler alert, I've actually been watching Sword Art Online.
What the fuck?
I've actually, because I actually had this realization the other day that I've watched every piece of like Sword Art Online media that has been released in anime form.
Disgust me.
And
Thought you're better than that guy.
yeah, it was weird because at the end of Alicization, there's a moment where Kirito has a scene with his mother and father to be like, I think I know what I want to be and what I want to pursue growing up. And I'm like, fuck me, it took 100 fucking episodes to get to this point. What the fuck? We're actually doing this now?
What are this? What are
So
good
wait, yeah.
parents?
So what kind of
Supportive
parents are they?
They're normal parents.
Oh,
They're-
Yeah, of course they are.
Actually, they were just like, can you please decide what the fuck you want to do with your life?
That's
and not
good.
just,
That's good parenting.
piss your life away with video games. I know you're like an epic gamer, but please choose a career path. And I'm like, you know what? I can actually kind of respect that.
Someone had to say it. Someone had to be like, Kirito, being a beta is not a viable career option. I'm sorry. That's not a thing.
Yeah, actually, there's this one scene at the end of Alicization where his mom's just like, next time you go into a fucking game that could like kill you, can you like tell us first? Like, this is the third time this has happened. Are you please just fucking
This
tell
is
us
just
next
reckless.
time? What are you doing?
Just find a better way to end it.
Like,
all right?
okay,
It's like, do you know how we had to explain to the doctors where we had to carry you into the hospital with a fucking gaming headset on?
Yeah, okay. It's like you get addicted to VR chat once. Okay, I can understand. The third fucking time it happens, you almost die from this, and you don't tell us this shit. Please tell us.
Oh my god.
Actually, like on
Becomes a VR chat mute.
yeah,
Yeah.
In like when he's 40.
yeah. On the topic of like Usagi drop and like degenerate dads and stuff like that. I remember like recently there was an anime that was just the opposite of that. I think.
Okay.
I think the anime was called like Higehiro, and I really.
Oh yeah.
I really hope that the manga hasn't gone some sussy route, right? Because
Well, I mean, it's originally a light novel, so it's probably going to go down a sussy route.
Because the thing that I liked about that was it's a show where a guy basically picks up this runaway like middle school, high school girl, and
Literally the start to every end.
yeah, and you watch the first episode and you're like, this is very, very sus.
Yeah.
This is I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. And then it turns out every time like the girl tries to be even remotely sexual, he's just like, get away from me, child. I am not interested in children. And I'm just like, man, is this the standard we have in anime where someone's
that's
saying,
commendable?
someone's saying, no, child, get away from me. I do not find you interesting. That's like commendable now in anime. That I was just like, damn, this is a really original route that this anime has gone down, man.
I mean, to be fair, it kind of is. Like, and that's kind of the sad thing, right? It's like, if you see an otaku, like, resist that urge, it's just like, oh, wow, all right. He gets bitches. Oh, all right. He's different.
You mean he's picking up this runaway high school girl just to help her? Just to be like
that doesn't
just
exist.
to be a good Samaritan?
Yeah.
What?
And then the girl is like, why are you gay?
I'm trying to think else a good dad. Is Subaru's dad from ReZero a good dad? I think he's pretty good, right?
He's not in the show.
Yeah,
What-
he has a
what-
motivational moment with him. He's like, "Come on, kid, don't suck."
That was like
Go
in
say-
in
it
his
was
like
a flashback,
His,
yeah.
That was like in his
Yeah.
mind though, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
was
Yeah, maybe it was in his mind, but does that count as a dad? If it's a dad,
It's like an imaginary dad.
that's like the dad.
What if
he
the imaginary
wanted.
dad has more impact on your life than the real dad? Okay,
That's true.
Who are the
Okay.
worst dads in anime?
Oh, let's fucking go, man.
Shinji. Shinji's dad.
Shinji's dad, Gendo. That's the
Yeah,
that's
he's
the
like-
go-to answer.
That's like the go-to.
I aspire to be a dad that
Yeah.
bad.
What about the?
Just like,
Just confidently that bad. Like, I just hate my kid that much. Like, that's almost impressive that he committed that hard to it.
he was only one step away from looking at Shinji and being like, who?
Like a bad.
Who are you?
I would say he committed so much to being a bad dad that he was always around, which is more than some other bad dads, right? Which I think is. That's kind of gaslighting Shinji, right? It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here for you, but get in the robot.
I mean, the
please.
other
weirdest argument
stereotypical bad dad is Nina's dad from Fullmetal Alchemist, obviously.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Whatever his name
I'm
was.
trying to think of some devil's advocate where I could argue he's a good dad.
But I would
hold
love
on,
to hear
hold
in
on, I
this
can think of
case.
something.
I would love to hear
This
this.
is where the AI would be great to help me out here.
Okay. So,
Why is Nina's dad
hold
actually
on,
a good
hold on,
dad?
hold on.
okay, let me break it down for you. Okay, let me
Yeah.
break it down for you. Is there anything more pure in life than a dog?
Yeah, he wanted her to be a good boy forever.
Yeah. How do you keep your children pure and innocent forever? Okay, you cross them with a dog. Okay, that's I have not seen Full Metal Alchemist, but I'm guessing that was his motivation. And you know what? I kind of dig with it, man.
You know what? You know what? Daughters overrated. Dogs though,
Look,
shit sticks with you.
Look, I bet that daughter would have grown up to be a fucking turd, man. Okay, every daughter reaches that age. in their teenagehood, you know, when they're just like, Dad, I don't care about you
He
anymore.
was just
You're
like-
stinky. Get the fuck
Yeah,
out
he
of
was
my
just
face.
like- he was just
didn't
like-
he didn't want that, you know.
He was just like, oh, you're about to hit puberty? Not on my watch.
I asked it to, why is Nina's dad from Full Metal Alchemist right? And he goes, the series does not depict any character of the perspective of right or wrong.
Yeah,
Actions have consequences, and they make mistakes as well. The story doesn't shy away from showing characters' flaws.
I mean,
That's an interesting defense.
that's an interesting defense.
Listen, yeah, like I'm with Garton in this camp. He just wanted to make a good boy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And was the dog a little sad? Yeah, but their dogs could be sad. We just don't hear
Yeah,
them
you know,
say it.
it's a
Yeah.
work in progress.
I think, imagine if he actually perfects it though, and the dog is
Right.
happy when it happens. Then I think science
Maybe,
is
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Maybe he's the
a few
victim.
uncomfortable questions. Wait,
Yeah.
what? Wait, okay, wait.
let's just like,
Maybe he's the victim. Maybe he was like, I just wanted to make a good boy, and then I
just
fucked
wanted to
up,
pr-
and
he
it
just
ended
wanted
up
to
being a
push science.
sad dog.
He was a scientist helping us.
Yeah.
this was his first attempt at it, you know. And you know, every scientific breakthrough has a few failures every now and again. You know, are we gonna say no to human experimentation just because a few people get violently murdered? I don't know. I don't know.
He's just like, all right, I gotta order up another daughter. I guess.
It's like, wife, I need another daughter to
wife,
experiment
we need
on.
another one. This experiment went wrong. Don't ask.
I'm realizing now the lack of dads in anime. There's not a lot.
There's not a lot of good dads. Mecha definitely does not have a good track record for
There's so many just dads that
amazing
just
dads.
aren't around.
I mean, just think
I mean,
of
like think about it perspective
think
wise,
of
though,
Code
right?
Geass, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. every mecha dad just wants to fucking take over the world or be a shitty dad.
Well, think about it even in like, you know, in the defense of like Gendo, for instance. Like, he was a good dad to Rei. He was a shit dad to Shinji, though.
I would argue he was a good husband to Rei.
Oh yeah, that's her. Yeah, dad / husband. It's a Sagi drop all over again. Fuck! It all goes back to Sagi drop.
It all goes back, man.
I can't think of any other dads. I'm just straight up trying
I'm
to
looking
think of
around.
dads.
Okay, if we're not
There's
talking
so many
about
moms, but
if
no
we're,
dads.
if we're not
Yeah.
talking about anime specifically, or like I guess things that came from and to anime, like say if like Pokemon, right? The Pokemon series.
Oh,
You
I-
never
I-
see Ash's dad.
I got one.
Right.
What about Rudius's dad from Mushoku Tensei?
With when he gets reincarnated.
Yeah, the one where he
Yeah,
gets
he's kind of the guy.
Yeah.
I like him. He's like
good
a
dad.
flaw. Little playboy.
yeah, he's a little playboy. He is.
Playboy.
Yeah,
I like it.
I think he's a good dad. I think he's one of the most human dads I've seen. Where
He's a bit of a scumbag, but
Yeah.
he also is a good dad, so it makes him a lot more believable as a character.
he like tries to be a good dad. Like I think the scene that got me in Mushoku Tensei was the scene where Rudius like hugs him to be like, I wasn't the perfect dad, and he's just like, I forgive you. I was like, oh fuck, man. I wish I could tell my dad that sometimes. Okay.
Okay, question.
Ascalad, racing. Well, technically not his son, but basically the dad.
Yeah.
He's
It's like the
basically
stepdad,
villain saga.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
the best stepdad.
Yeah.
You know, you
The best case scenario for
he
a
kills
stepdad.
your real dad.
Yeah.
And then becomes the goat dad. Like obviously killing the real dad is bad. But if he becomes an even better dad, I think there's a question to be.
But he went
it's
into
an
it.
uncomfortable
He went
question.
into it with an alpha mentality. He was like, "I'm gonna kill your real dad because I'm more confident I can be a better dad than your real dad."
And so that's why he's the ugly but good dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Question.
he's Welsh. So
Okay.
that's also,
And he's Welsh.
And he's Welsh.
and so, you know, he
There's
is,
a bit of bias.
He's the best Welsh dad we've had yet.
Okay. Question.
out of how many?
Out of all the Welsh dads in anime, he's the GOAT. He is absolutely the GOAT.
Okay. Question.
Yes.
Is Minato a good dad to Naruto?
Is Naruto a good dad?
Is Naruto a good dad as well? Double question.
Naruto.
No.
Neither Naruto or Sasuke are good dads. Fucking like
Obviously Sasuke isn't.
Oh,
Sasuke
yeah.
never wanted to have kids anyway.
Sasuke went out to get milk and never came back. He was that dad, man. I feel so sorry for what was her name, like Sarada or whatever.
Sarada, yeah, salad.
God.
Sasuke seems like the kind of dude
You know
who-
you're a bad dad because you named your daughter fucking salad.
Sasuke's the kind of dude who felt like he would try and explain to you for 10 minutes why he took the condom off right before he put it in. You know what I mean? Like he would have a full-on conversation trying to justify it to you.
Yeah.
That's the vibe he gives off.
Yeah, I remember
Sure.
the only part of Boruto I've seen is for like the new Naruto movie, so I'm not like up to date to like Boruto, so I don't know how good of a dad Naruto is now. But my fucking god, he needs to learn how to discipline his kid, man. Fuck me, man.
He's out of fucking control.
He is, man. Boruto's a dick. You know, it's so weird because, like, see, I forget that Boruto's not even an only child, but everyone forgets that he has a sister because her sister's so well behaved, right? And Naruto's definitely that dad that was just like, I was a fucking dickhead when I was a kid, so you know what, kid, you can be a dickhead too. And I'm like, no, Naruto, don't do that.
It's like my dad wasn't there during my childhood. I won't be for yours either. I'm learning by example.
You'd think from not having not growing up with parents that Naruto would want to like offset that and be a really good fucking parent and be there for his kid. He doesn't learn from that. You'd think he would know that.
I guess anime normally has father figures as opposed to fathers.
Yeah.
Straight up. I guess.
I guess
like choose your own dad.
I guess
right?
that's it. Yeah, and that was the anime dads, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
This is literally.
Maybe Joey can pick one. Oh, okay. You pick
sorry.
the next one.
Go for it.
Go for
It's a
it.
tangent next to the sorry, guys. That makes me think about food that sounds disgusting but actually delicious.
That sounds disgusting.
Food that
Like,
sounds
Garn wrote this
disgusting.
down, but it says food that sounds disgusting but actually delicious.
See, there's two ways we can go about
Beans
that.
on toast.
The name sounds disgusting, but it's actually good, or the concept sounds
I
disgusting.
think it should be the concept that sounds disgusting. If you say fucking shirako, I'm leaving, Joey. That sounds disgusting, and it is disgusting.
No, it's
Natto
delicious.
sounds disgusting and is disgusting.
No, that's delicious as well. I will not take Shirako and Natto slander from you two non-Japanese people. There's a lot of Japanese foods that are like that. Like
I'm just thinking most Japanese food.
Okay. One for me that I actually saw by like real life example was when I first brought a couple of my like Australian high school friends to Japan, right? And they were the kind of like super like Western friends who like never tried, you know, proper like Japanese food or like any kind of Asian food. And I took them to eat sukiyaki,
Okay.
right? And they thought the concept of the raw egg was disgusting.
Yeah, it is a hard sell. It is a
Yeah,
hard sell.
yeah.
So sukiyaki is like a meaty broth where you cook all the veg like a hot pot, but so you cook all the veg and the meat in this hot pot, but what makes it unique is that you have a raw egg on the side that you whisk kind of to make it all like consistent.
Yeah.
Then you dunk everything in this broth in the raw egg, then eat it.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it sounds kind of gross.
Yeah.
You don't cook the egg before you cook
Yeah.
the meat and then dunk the cooked meat in the raw egg.
Yeah, so
Which
basically
so
the
good.
meat and the vegetables are like kind
It
of
sounds gross.
yeah,
but I like
it's
it.
been simmering in this like soy sauce based broth, and now there's just like a whole bunch of raw egg over it. It
Yeah.
sounds gross if you
So
never
good.
had it,
So
but when you
good.
have it, you realize it's one of the best types of hot pots you can have in Japan.
It is delicious. I don't know, the yolk, it's a natural sauce.
Yeah.
Right? And what are you gonna say?
Yeah. Sorry, I just had a bad thought. Go on.
what was your bad?
Go on. No. You go first. Finish it.
I was just gonna say the yolk just makes such a delicious natural sauce that we just have never had before. You
yeah,
know,
but when I think about it, it's like, okay, I think to a lot of people, conceptually, that's quite gross.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though it's pretty delicious.
So, I propose
Yeah.
the toast sandwich.
Is that okay?
It's, I
it
would say
doesn't
disgusting,
sound,
but
it's not gross.
It's just nothing.
It's just bland.
It's pretty good.
That's like saying
I like the
Get
taste
the
of it.
fuck
I
out of here.
like the taste
Get
of it.
the fuck out of here, Connor.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
that is the whitest thing
No.
you've said on this podcast,
I've
Connor.
had it. I thought it sounded dumb as fuck, and I had it, and I thought it's not that bad. It's pretty good.
Okay, so explain. So it's basically, is it a sandwich that
So
has toast in it?
It's 2 pieces of bread.
Yeah,
and then you-
non-cooked bread.
Yeah,
Like
non-toasted.
non-toasted bread.
Non-toasted bread, and then you
Yeah.
have a toasted bread in the middle that you normally season with salt and pepper, and then you put it just like in the middle, and you eat it. It's pretty good. And you can put butter on it if you want to. It's pretty good. It sounds gross, but it's.
I
pretty
would
good.
rather just have fucking toast. You know?
Yeah.
Why?
Why am I
It's a
filling?
delicacy. It's a delicacy.
Why am I filling myself up with 2 extra slices of non-toasted bread when I could also toast those?
It's different. It's good. You should try it. We should all try it.
What compelled you to make this thing?
Because I'd seen it so many times, and I thought, well, fuck it, I'll just try it. Like before I make my opinions on it. Yes, it sounds fucking stupid.
I
but
did.
I'll try
To be
it.
fair, when we
was
were
pretty good.
when we were in the
Yeah.
UK last year, I did go to like a bakery and I did see it on their menu, and I was really
You saw it on the
tempted.
menu? I've never seen it on
I've
the
seen
menu.
it. I've seen it on
What
the
the
menu.
fuck?
and it was like
I never seen it on the menu in the
yeah,
UK.
I saw it on the menu
This
and I
was
was like,
custom.
that can't be right.
I'm misreading this.
Yeah, I think-
British cuisine. Let's put bread between our
Listen,
It must be like
I
slang
know,
for
I know
something,
people
or-
are going to use this to slant my taste buds, but hey, it's not bad. You got to try it before you deny it.
Connor,
Like,
why didn't you
listen,
say I didn't love
salt-
bread enough as it is, Connor?
salt-
Why didn't you tell me?
Salt, bread, carbs, and just black pepper is just all I need. Like that's good enough for me. I'm like a. You know how like dogs, when you give them dog treats every single day, you give them the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how do they get so excited every time?
Right.
That's what I want for my food.
Well, that's also because their brains are smaller.
Is that why?
Yes.
If they had bigger brains, it'd be like,
So they're
really?
just like
Dog treats
less.
again?
Yeah, so they're just less capable of being like, actually, I've had this for 200 days straight, master. I require some other type of sustenance. They don't have that knowledge.
Maybe they
You
do
know,
though. Maybe they just like
I'm
it a lot.
slandering the bread sandwich, but you know what?
Toast sandwich. Excuse you.
Toast sandwich, crisp sandwich. I actually get behind that.
I like crisp
I
sandwiches.
like crisp sandwiches.
Crisp sandwiches. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Does it sound disgusting though? Is it?
It's just like socially looked down upon, and I don't know why.
It's seen as a
What-
peasant food.
It's seen as a peasant food, and I don't know why. It should be seen as a delicacy. Fuck if.
Yeah.
The
Like-
God's securing his British citizenship for life. They'd never be in question.
You know, why are kids on a playground getting bullied for bringing a crisp sandwich to school? Let's not pretend that it's not like the best meal you could have as a kid. That it's the meal that you wanted as a kid, but you couldn't tell your parents that you wanted.
It's
like-
not the most gourmet shit, but goddamn is a cost efficient.
Do you
Yeah.
like chip sandwiches?
Yes, I love chip sandwiches.
Chip. I've
Like
never had a chip
fries,
sandwich.
fries.
Yeah,
and just-
like
Oh.
hot chip sandwiches.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
love
good.
those. Love
It's
those.
pretty good.
I could possibly.
It's
Possibly.
pretty good.
That was
It's pretty good.
that was my
With
diet
some
in high
ketchup
school.
on it,
dude.
maybe some mayo or something too.
Dude, for us in Australia, we put some chicken salt on that bitch. Woo.
Okay, another thing that definitely sounds disgusting and isn't that bad, I'd say is, well, maybe not delicious. You'd probably agree. I think you'd say horses.
Oh, horse meat?
Horse sounds disgusting,
Yeah.
but
Does
I
it
think
sound
you
like
might-
that?
Okay, I don't think it's that it sounds disgusting.
It's
I think
horses,
it
you're like,
sounds, it's just morally wrong
Yeah.
to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
It's like eating like cat or dog,
Yeah.
right? It's like, it's not about like the
I wouldn't
concept,
say
it's like the
on,
moral.
I wouldn't say it's on that level, but
Yeah.
an animal that we have, let's say, domesticated and have put to use.
But we've domesticated horses.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
No. But like horses haven't been domesticated on as wide of a like level as not wide as wide. It's not as widespread as people owning cats and dogs.
Right.
It
you know?
used to be pretty widespread.
Oh, it used to be
Yeah.
widespread.
But
I
don't
have no
think
doubt.
I have no idea. I'm not-
Maybe in Japan they did.
Yeah.
Right, for Japan, they always need it.
Yeah. Japan is like, doesn't move, we need it.
I had this seal. Sound disgusting?
Seal.
It just
I had
sounds.
seal in a can.
That just sounds.
Oh,
wrong.
I think I have as well. It's just they're very blubbery, right?
Yeah.
And like very fatty. It's like
Yeah.
bear meat as well.
Wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Like, does bear meat sound disgusting?
Yeah.
That's,
Does
that's
sound-
because
that
it
does
is.
sound disgusting. Any like
think of
any
more
like
stuff.
apex predator, I just feel is just doesn't taste. Just shouldn't taste good.
Like
you know?
crocodile.
Crocodile. I've never had crocodile before.
I've had crocodile. It's like tough chicken.
Tough chicken.
It is. It's like tough chicken. If you
Okay.
close your eyes and
frogs,
ate it,
does that sound disgusting?
Yes, and I think they are disgusting.
I actually quite
Frogs
like
are
frogs.
fucking delicious.
I actually
man.
quite like
Holy
frogs.
shit, frog legs?
I can't.
Actually,
They're just like baby chicken legs.
Yeah, they're just baby
I
chicken
can't
legs.
eat it without picturing that frog dancing. One with a top hat. Hello, my baby. Hello.
Wait, when have you had frogs?
I had it when I was in France. one
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
I
fine.
did too, and it came
Yeah.
on a plane. I was like, "Oh shit, it's that boy."
I just imagine it happy singing and dancing like 20 minutes ago. I don't know why. What's wrong with my brain?
Oh yes, okay.
Frogs, no, but horses, I'll fucking eat
Yeah,
that
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But frogs too cute.
I'm not a horse person, so I don't care about
Are you a
horses.
frog person?
Kind of like frogs. They're kind of cute. Frogs are cute as fuck.
Okay.
Frogs are cute. Frogs
Okay,
are
what
cute.
about escargot?
I was going to say, now that we're on that,
Not a
escargot.
fan.
You don't like escargot?
Not a fan.
I quite like it.
I just can't look so stunned by me saying it.
I wasn't stunned. I was like, why am I not? Why am I not surprised that Joey's like, yeah, I'll fuck with that.
Escargot's delicious. It's great.
Joey likes everything weird.
Depends
I
on my
do.
mood. Depends on my mood. Because sometimes, we don't want to admit it, but our mental image of something can affect the taste.
Sure.
You know, it's
If you
know-
associate food or drink with
Yeah.
like a bad time or a bad experience, it also is worse as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've had escargot, and I'm fine with the taste. I'm never going to like go out and look for it. But I'm not like opposed to it. But when I know it's escargot, I know that there's this part of my brain that is just like reading a fucking slimy ass snail.
Isn't it weird? Okay, in that vein, isn't it also weird that we're totally okay with eating snails, but we're not okay with eating slugs?
Well, I mean, okay.
I've always thought about
I'm not
that.
okay with either of them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
okay with that. Why did you assume we are okay with eating slugs?
I think the slugs
no.
are.
As in like we're okay with eating snails, but we're not okay with eating slugs.
Well,
Just like as a society.
I always found the snails.
slug
snails.
The slug society.
Again, snails were the more refined slugs. in
Are
my
they,
mind.
though?
I always thought they were the classier slugs. You know what I
They're
mean?
just
Yeah.
the slugs that live in caravans, right?
Yeah, it's like the broke snail is the slug,
Yeah.
right? Like and slug, you know, like snails are like snails. Slug, you know.
Look, slugs are just like snails that have gone through like the homeless crisis. You know, they ain't rich enough to buy a home. They're obviously and
I mean, this
They're the
market
ones that
is
got
very
hit hard by the
volatile.
global financial crisis.
fuck man.
Okay, I had one. Fuck, I had it. I forgot it. It was
What?
fuck, I forgot it.
Okay, what kind of things? Is there any animal body part to you that sounds disgusting?
Testicles.
Testicles.
Yeah, I've had like bull's testicles before. Conceptually, I was like, all right, I'm eating nuts.
Yeah.
You know, that's whatever. But I'm very much in the mindset of like, you know, whatever it might be conceptually, as long as it tastes good,
Yeah.
then I'm okay with it for the most part.
For me,
right?
I'd actually, because I think I'd actually rather eat a testicle than eat.
Should have been out of context.
I'd rather eat a
testicle.
like conceptually, right?
Yeah.
I know something about eating like a blood vessel, or
A blood vessel. So like blood
like
sausages?
like a vein or something like that.
Oh, a vein.
Because I've seen that before.
You
and
can
I-
eat veins?
Yeah, it's like a blood, like a vein or an artery or something.
Right.
I've seen that before, and I'm just like,
How do they get it out intact?
What do you mean?
Like usually it's like quite, you know, they're quite small, right? So do they just pull the arteries?
Well, some of like the main big arteries.
Oh, I see,
like,
I see.
Are like, you know, pretty fucking fat, and
Yeah.
I don't know, something about that just like freaks me the fuck out, and I'm like,
Like
I can't,
eating
I can't.
blood, yeah.
Okay, something that sounds conceptually disgusting.
Yeah.
Fish eggs. Fish eggs look and sound disgusting before you've had them, and then you try it. You're like,
True.
oh, they're quite refreshing.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if you'd never had fish eggs, like, and you don't have a culture of eating them, and someone had said, "Hey, do you want to eat fish eggs?" Like my parents were like, I told them that, and they were like, "Oh, like is that like caviar?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's
Yeah.
caviar but different."
Well,
Yeah.
caviar is fish eggs.
Yeah, well, it's like as in like the
Or like salmon
the
roe,
normal
right?
common fish eggs that you eat.
Yeah.
Fish eggs are fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I remember some like because whenever like in Thailand, whenever there's like, you know, if you fry the fish, sometimes the fish eggs, sometimes they don't remove the fish eggs from the fish.
Oh,
so
we
you,
did
Oh, that would freak me out.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you open it up and
And it's just like packed full of
it's just
shit.
it's just
That
like
freaked
on,
me out.
huh?
Oh,
No,
that
it's
freaked
good.
me
It's
out.
delicious.
And it's one of the most delicious parts of the fish, I think, because it's fried. It absorbs all of the sauces that you fry it
I
in.
like them both separate now. I'm realizing. I like them, but I don't see the eggs from the fish. I like that I just see the eggs.
But that's weird though, right?
Is it- I d- again, that's
it's-
something weird
because
going on in my brain.
conceptually
Yeah.
it's no different, right? It's
Yeah.
just separated.
Yeah.
That's like being like, oh, I like sausages and I like mashed potatoes, but I don't like bangers and mash. It's the equivalent to that.
I think it's just seeing. You know, sometimes everyone always says like how the sausage is made. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's like I see how the sausage is made, and I don't mind that. I'm like
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
When I see where the eggs come from, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Like when I see those videos where they open up the sturgeon to get the caviar,
Yeah.
and they just fucking rip this thing's stomach open like a Doom like video, and then grab all these hundreds of thousands of eggs. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
You're just
Yeah, it's
watching a
pretty gnarly.
You're just watching a C-section, man.
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
That's
like-
basically what you're
When
watching.
it comes in the tin, I don't question it, and I'm like, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. But
It's all about packaging.
But when it comes directly, they've ripped it out. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I think caviar is like overrated anyway.
I
man.
don't like caviar.
Yeah,
I had it one
it's-
time and I was like, this is shit.
Yeah, it's pretty overrated.
It's the same as any other ingredient. You can't just slap it onto anything and just hope that it tastes good because it's
People
like,
just fucking add it to the menu to make it more expensive. I'm
Yeah, I
convinced.
know.
I don't think anyone actually cares about the flavor.
yeah.
Because it's just salt.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's just a little salt, and it's a little bit of salt and a little bit of like sea and like fishy,
Yeah.
Sea
Seawater flavor.
seawater
use
flavor.
sea salt.
Yeah, it's just very yeah. That's it. It's just very expensive seawater. Let's
Yeah.
be honest, all right? That's what it is.
Oh my god.
That can taste good, but definitely not worth the price that you pay.
God, I think I was a weird kid. I think I remember I liked the taste of the sea salt, like the sea. Like I think I got it on me and I licked like I had like a wristband on or something. I licked it. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm licking it even. I think I licked it. I was like, damn, this shit tastes good.
I know it does taste good. Whenever
It's just salt.
Wait.
Salt. I'm like, shit, why does cholera taste so good in the ocean?
Have you never gone like swimming in the
No,
ocean
I
and then you
have,
come
I
out
have.
and then it dries out and then your
And you-
skin's like all like flaky because of the salt and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that tastes good.
Or like when you accidentally get it in your mouth and you're like, I'm not gonna tell anyone this, but it tastes really fucking good.
That tastes good.
Because there's undoubtedly amount of sewage in this, and I'm not gonna say that I
Yeah.
like the taste.
Because like I remember when I was a kid in Thailand we owned like a bunch of dogs at our house and my grandma did. Every time we'd go to a trip to the seaside, we'd come back and the dogs would just like fucking we'd pet them and we'd pet the dogs and the dogs would like lick the fuck out of my hands. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I know what they're licking, man. God, I wish I was that
yeah,
dog.
I know I'm tasty. Speaking of, I just thought of a tangent.
Oh, yeah?
What about the etiquette and taboos of pooping in different cultures?
What did you put in this AI to get these prompts?
I put in give me talking points about a podcast that talks about Japan, anime, pooping, and everything else, and
Well,
food.
here's the pooping one.
So the etiquette in Japan, you have to take your shoes off in some places. Like you have to wear a different pair of shoes to go to the
Oh,
toilet.
yeah, like
yeah.
the slippers,
Like
right?
you'll be in a restaurant where you've taken off your shoes, and to go into the toilet, you have to wear another pair of slippers.
Yep.
Yeah.
The communal toilet slippers.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you
take a
ever
piss.
use the communal toilet slippers in
Hell
Japan?
no. Hell no.
I,
'Cause
I
it's
do,
gross.
but it's kind of nasty when you think about it.
It
'cause
is.
It's like I'd rather just take my risks and touch the floor.
Yeah.
Because like think about like the amount of, first of all, like not clean like socks and potentially, you know,
Yeah.
just feet that have been
Yeah.
there. And then second of all, in the case with guys, right? Like think of the amount of like piss that just fucking flings out and
Oh,
lands
yeah.
on the slippers.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know how often they're cleaning these slippers. I assume not very often
Yeah.
in some places, right?
But there have been some, like it's a tie-up for me. Normally I don't use it, but there's sometimes I walk in a toilet and I see like a small little wet patch somewhere, and I'm like,
Yeah, sure.
I
Yeah.
ain't taking
Yeah.
the chance,
that's-
man.
Yeah.
I ain't taking
Yeah.
the chance.
Yeah. That's
You
the
know?
only time I would wear it. If like the toilet looks clean and there's like no noticeable puddles or anything, then I'm just going in with my socks.
Yeah.
Is there a culture in Japan? Because I don't know, and I'm asking against like because in the UK and I think the US as well. There's kind of, I think it's mainly the UK. People really don't want to shit in public. Like shitting in a public toilet is like a,
Is that culture?
I don't know if it's culture.
I
or
think it's an
whatever.
individual thing.
Like, I know a lot of people who really will do anything to not shit in public toilet.
I am that person.
Okay.
I am that person.
God's like, is this? Yeah, because I.
Are you calling me out, Connor?
No, I'm just saying. Like, I know you probably know a lot of people who are like the same, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it the same in Australia as well, or is it?
Yes, only because unlike Japan, the public toilets is disgusting.
They're a bit more disgusting, but I'm also a lot more forgiving when I use shit because I'm kind of the mindset of
Okay.
I'm in the mess.
Okay, there's
I'm part of the mess.
there's a lot of reasons why I
Okay.
want to shit right in the comfort of my own
No,
home.
I don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I will never want to shit in a public toilet more than mine.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
of course.
But
let's
when nature calls,
Yeah, when you have to go, you have to go.
But let's take let's say hygiene out of it. Let's assume you live in Japan,
Yeah.
a country where the public toilets are clean as fuck. Okay.
sometimes I've seen
Sometimes you can get
Most of the time.
unlucky.
I've seen some
Yeah.
gnarly toilets here.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Japan's track record for public toilets compared to every other country I've been to
Yeah.
is really fucking good.
Yeah,
I'll
true.
say that. So taking that aspect out of it, there's just, sometimes there's just something comforting about shitting in a place that's your own home. Okay? Because
No, I agree.
okay, do you feel uncomfortable shitting in your mate's place?
No.
Yeah.
In fact, I try and do it every time I go to my mate's house.
What the fuck? Okay.
what's wrong with
Okay,
you?
that's the last time I invite you around my house, Joey.
I want to mark my territory.
I think I don't like it. And I think you had this one time in your house, Scott. I don't know if you still do.
Yeah.
You had the fur thing on your toilet. I don't
Oh,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That freaks me out.
Oh,
It's like the last thing I
the carpet
want.
on the
last
thing.
thing I want to picture is carpet and shit. Like I want it to be like porcelain, so that if I shit everywhere, it's super easy to wipe. Not that I'm gonna shit everywhere, but just the thought of rubbing my ass cheeks against a carpet while I'm gonna shit, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, that's a little strange even for me.
I think yours
agree.
was on top. I don't think it was the. Because in Japan they have, you can get the carpet on top of the toilet.
Yeah,
It
I
goes on
have the
lids.
carpet on top of the lid.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
normal. But then some people, some monsters have the carpet on the like actual part you sit on. when you
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
weird. I
I
think
just follow my wife on that one. I wasn't getting. I woke up one day and I'm just like, why would you do this?
What is this?
What is this?
I had to just get used to it because like my grandma had it my whole life.
Yeah,
So I'm just kind of used to it now. But in saying that, I don't like it.
I like that we have certain rules in society that we don't change certain things. And the design of the toilet has gone unchanged for generations. And I don't think we should start rethinking it. I think the toilet is a banger. Let's just stick with it. It's like, this is why I hate it when dudes wear, like, when it's in a formal event and everyone's wearing a tuxedo and a guy wears something other than a tuxedo. It's like, okay, what are you trying to do here? You're trying to fuck with the norm. Everyone has a social contract. We know the tuxedo is the go-to. We all know that we can just whip out the tuxedo and we're taken care of. It's fine. Don't start changing the norm. Don't change the toilet.
Okay, here's a question then. If you're out in public, right?
Yeah.
And this applies mostly to people who are comfortable with shitting in public, aka Connor.
Yeah.
Right? But say you're in a situation, and I'm sure you've been in a situation like this because I certainly have. You have to take a shit. Like you can't hold it in, right?
Yeah.
But that's fine. You're okay with shitting in public, right? You walk in and there are only the Japanese style toilets. Do you take a shit?
If I gotta go, I gotta go. I've never done it there. I've never shat in a Japanese style toilet, which is also you just squat over a hole.
Yeah, the squat toilets.
Yeah.
I've avoided it.
Yeah.
That's far.
Have you ever shat in a Japanese style toilet before?
Oh, I mean, yeah, we have those all the time in Thailand.
Right.
They're
the
It's
worst.
basically at every gas station. It's awful. I hate
it's
it.
the
How
worst.
do you avoid splashback
In what?
in the standing toilets? Because you're dropping it like that's gaining some G's. That shit. Like-
you ain't dropping it that far, mate. What are you standing up? What are you doing?
Like, how far are we
What are you doing
squatting?
it like that?
Hold on. No. The real question is, at what velocity does the shit leave your ass?
Quite.
So much so that it splashes.
Bro, if I'm dying and I'm using one of those toilets, it's probably a pretty vicious force that's coming out. So how low are we getting when we're shitting? Are we
We're getting
are we
very
full,
low.
like knees are like fully bent like this?
Yeah, knees are fully bent.
Oh, I always
Wait, in
imagined
a
it was like
Japanese
90
Japanese toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're like fully squatting.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
fully squatting.
I thought it was like a 90-degree kind of knee situation.
I can just imagine just Connor seeing the squat toilet. He's like, all right. Standing up. Just like dropping it for like 2 feet.
I've never tried, and I don't dare try.
Connor just like takes his trousers off and just stands on top of the toilet.
Just like hands.
So I imagined like,
Yeah.
Oh no. You're like fully Asian squatting.
It's literally like this.
Yeah, like
You're
full-on Asian squatting. You're Asian squatting. Yeah.
That's why Asian squat exists, so
How
they
do
can
these-
shit
How
correctly,
do these like
man.
90-year-old men do that? Like, how do they get back up? Do people like just get stuck?
No, because they probably have to do it every day.
No, I've seen some old people in Japan who can barely like walk around.
Oh, they probably own Western toilets in that
Yeah.
case.
Damn straight they do. Damn straight they do.
Yeah, you need that's. I think that's why every Asian is like pre-programmed in their gene to be able to Asian squat.
Yeah.
Just in case they need to shit in a public toilet. you
Okay,
know?
here's another question when it
Okay.
comes to etiquette. Okay.
Okay.
Again, this doesn't apply to you.
Right.
It applies to you though. When you shit in a public toilet, right, Western one,
Right.
do you use the bidet?
Yes.
Okay, because I know a lot of people who don't.
Okay, so
Because it's like, why would I share a bidet with some random?
Oh, I'm fine with sharing a bidet.
because
That's
because
dumb.
the way the bidet comes out, right? It comes
Yeah.
out like this angle, right?
Yeah.
And the bidet shoots the water that way.
Yeah.
So there's no way it could get dirty. And even if it did, it's like, well, it's no more dirty than putting your ass cheeks on the toilet anyway. Like,
That's exactly.
and you're already washing it with water. So let's say even
Yeah.
if there was a tiny bit of dirt left on the bidet, somehow
Yeah.
it would get blown away anyway from all the ass washing you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a weird mind block.
It is,
some people
but
have.
I know a few people who have that mindset, and I've told them
If
that
you're-
exact
if-
same thing.
if-
They're like, no, it's still like,
if you're willing to put your cheeks on the same seat that like 1,000 plus other people have put their cheeks on,
Yeah.
and some people have probably gotten it dirty as well. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you have no,
yeah.
like
I think you're fine.
At that point, it's like whatever.
At
Yeah.
that point, you use a Japanese style toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
or
no
just-
lid to sit on.
Or just
Yeah.
bring your own,
bring-
bidet.
you know one of like the scariest sights to see in like a public toilet in my mind? Like so you need a shit, right? Someone just goes out of the toilet stall. You go in and you see that they put like the toilet lid down and you're like, oh fuck.
You have to touch it.
Oh, he's just dropped a fat one. Because
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because every time that happens, because you never like when you go into a public toilet, like do you put the toilet seat down afterwards?
No.
As in like after you take a shit?
No.
No.
I only do that when I know I've dropped a fucking stinker.
Oh,
like
no.
like a fucking nuclear bomb. So
No.
every time I walk in a toilet stall and I see the toilet seat is like fully down, I'm like, someone's just fucking destroyed this toilet, and I don't know if I'm emotionally prepared.
For me, I'm more scared of, even though I just heard the flush,
Yeah.
I walk in and I see the lid is closed. Somewhere deep in my mind, I'm like, if I open this, I'm gonna see that guy's turd. Still in there. He's left me a nasty fucking surprise that I'm not ready to open this. I'm not ready to open this Pandora's box, but I need to.
It's the smell, because I know as soon as I open it, it's just like, I know I'm gonna fucking smell
It's
it.
gonna be a bomb.
It's gonna be a bomb. I know I'm gonna be hit with that wave of smell, and I'm like, oh god, why couldn't I have just waited like 10 more minutes for the smell to dissipate? But yeah, that's
Nasty.
Do you use that weird like toilet seat outline sheet you can get at some toilets?
Sometimes I do.
Occasionally, if it's a really nasty looking toilet, I'll try, but I get so frustrated because it never stays on the fucking seat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get these like kind of toilet paper style things that kind of go around the whole toilet and then you poke out the middle.
It's like a
Yeah.
serviette for a toilet
It's
seat.
really weird and it's so fidgety and it never stays in place and I have to like quickly put it down and get my ass on it so it stays.
Yeah.
I hate that thing so much.
Because it's so thin, so the lightest breeze just fucking swishes it
Well,
around.
like the pressure from your ass approaching will blow it away.
Yeah.
And so I normally don't use it, but
yeah.
But sometimes,
just thought I wanted to see if
sometimes
you
a
guys
little
did.
extra protection doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Japan, they have this thing as well. It's pretty common where you can clean the toilet seat if you want to.
Oh, with the wet wipes,
There's
right?
like another spray. It's not for your hands. It's like you can put some of the toilet roll and then wipe it.
Yeah.
They do that occasionally.
Yeah.
Depends how spicy I'm feeling. If it's a
Yeah.
long one, I'm like, all right, just getting settled in. Let's do it.
Okay, here's the question. What do you do? You're desperate for the toilet. You're in a public toilet. You walk in. No toilet paper. And you realize too late.
I've never had that issue.
You've never had that issue?
I've had that
I've
issue.
never had that issue.
or it's either like there's no toilet
you?
paper, or of course I have.
Oh.
This is why I hate going into public toilets.
Well, that's
Well,
why
just
I
check.
always check before I go in.
Sometimes you just forget because you're just too fucking desperate. And then that first one comes out, it's a fat one, and you look over, you're like, oh no, DEFCON 5. I need emergency meeting time, guys.
Hopefully you're with a friend and they can get help. That's like the play, right?
Yeah, I
If you're
mean,
not, you're fucked. I
yeah.
guess.
well,
Just-
see, because I've learned from that, and so now in whatever bag I have while I'm out, I always have like pocket tissues, just in case, because you never know.
Wait, no, I think I have had this. I think I'd
Yeah.
just like had a really dirty ass and walked to the next toilet because I had no other choice. Like, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, like if you're alone, what can you do?
it's like when you're at home as well, though, right? And you realize that there's no toilet paper on the toilet roll. You look to where you usually have all your toilet paper. There's none there either.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you do in that situation at home?
Just go in the shower.
Yeah, you shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like shower that
Yeah.
shit away.
Shower strap.
Yeah. Just the
Damn.
good old fucking shower strap.
All right. What's the
sure.
next?
All
What's
right.
the next tangent?
The next tangent is the funniest and most bizarre Japanese advertisements.
I'm surprised we've never talked about this.
I saw one the other day,
Right.
and I don't know what it was promoting,
Okay.
but it was like a cow that was styled like Josuke and Jojo. We had like the pompadour. He's like a delinquent, and then the cow walks up to these two delinquents on the train and is like, "Leave those old people alone." And then the old people take a seat, and then it cuts to the product. I don't know what they were. I don't know what they were promoting and what the message was.
That definitely sounds like a Japanese ad.
I have
Yeah.
no idea. And then I think it was like some kind of milk-based. instant soup. It was something weird.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird Japanese ads.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, I think what's funny is that, like, you know, in the West, there's that, like, whole stereotype of, like, oh, Japanese ads are some of, like, the most wackiest, they don't make any fucking sense type of ads. And yeah, there's certainly a lot of them, but, like, I think a lot of people have this weird image that that's the majority of ads in Japan. Whereas
Well, it was
there
really
are some
boring.
normal ads in Japan.
One of them is really boring. They love chimes still.
They love chimes. Yeah, they love
Yeah.
jingles.
Like jingles, they push jingles so hard.
One ad that I recently saw that I thought was really funny was you know, obviously because like Chainsaw Man is still massive in
Yeah.
Japan. I saw this huge like banner advertisement in one of the train stations, and it was just it's like 95% of this banner was just Makima's face. And
I've seen this one.
and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And I read it, and it's an ad for a recruitment company. It basically said, I want you to be mine. But it was written in like Makima style of like speech, and it's like, I want you to be mine.
Bro,
Come to this recruitment company. I'm like, that is so gigabrain.
I hate how effective I know that ad is.
Yeah.
You know, just by putting fucking Makima's face and being like, you can work under for me.
Yeah, you can be mine.
You can be mine. I'm like, fuck. Can I have my own Makima in my life, man?
So sometimes they're like gigabrain. Other times it's just like, you know, I think a lot of the wins ones that I've seen where it's just like, that's kind of unnecessary is that they take like a celebrity or a comedian or whatever.
Yeah.
They put him into like a weird fucking like bodysuit.
Yeah, they have a lot of weird surrealist type of commercials where it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, like there's this commercial that's been playing all the time, like every taxi I've gone through recently, where it's these people on stage dancing or something like that, and it's like this absurdist nightmare where they slowly turn into puppets or something like that, and then like one person turns into a puppet, but everyone keeps on dancing, and then slowly the entire crew is just like a fucking is a plastic puppet or something like that. And I'm like, this is the stuff of nightmares, actually. What are you trying to promote here? I'm so confused.
Dude, like taxi ads are like some of my favorite because it's like
Yeah.
they're clearly trying to like make it, you know, interesting and like kind of visually appealing and like visually like fun, happy times, yay. But all of the ads are just like join up with this cloud management system
They have this
for
one-
your company.
They have
It's
that
like,
one ad that runs in every single taxi, and it's the translation device.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's always like these quizzes in
Yeah.
the taxi that's like, it'll say, yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be like a
that's the
Japanese,
jingle.
it'll be like a Japanese phrase, and it'll be like, what's the answer in English? And it'll be like, it's very nice to meet you. It's lovely to meet you. And it's like, and I'm like pressing it like,
I know this one.
I know
Yeah.
this.
I saw this ad the other day in a taxi that was just, it was promoting this mattress, right?
Yeah.
That was meant to be so stable that, and how they tried to promote it was they got someone to jump on the mattress with like a glass of red wine.
That's what they always do.
Which is what they always do.
yeah.
But I noticed in the advertisements, they had this shot where this guy in a suit jumps on, right? And the glass is like in front of him in frame, right? But also in frame was the fact that this glass was on top of a towel that was opaque. And you could see this shot where this guy jumps on this mattress. He like panics for a bit, looks at the glass, and then just smiles. And I'm just like, you sneaky motherfuckers! How many fucking takes did this get, man? Fucking false.
How many mattresses do they have to go through?
Yeah.
I think it's the koala Japanese ads.
Oh, it might be the koala
okay.
Japanese ads.
Have you seen the legendary Long Man commercials?
Long man.
Long
those
Man.
ads.
What's that one?
It was like, oh yeah, he's shocked.
love
you haven't
those
seen it.
ads.
It's basically like this product for this sweet in Japan that's this very long.
It's like gum.
Oh yeah.
and then they told like a story through like 10 ads where the guy
Yeah.
like left his wife and was gay or something.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
It was really good. It was
Oh,
really
that
good,
that
like,
was
series.
brilliant.
They do a
yeah.
lot of those actually. Like SoftBank has had this like long running like story arc in their advertisements where it's like they get characters from like Japanese folklore and like put them in situations where it's like, oh, you know, Momotaro, would you like I want a way to be able to contact you when I make it to the island of the devils. Well, why not try SoftBank? And this ad series, I guess, has been going on for like 10 plus years.
Oh my God.
And
Right.
they're still making it with these like recurring characters. So much so, I think I went to a SoftBank the other day and I saw that they were selling merch. of these characters.
Makes sense. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who is buying this? SoftBank employees?
I mean, I also noticed that a lot of Japanese strategy when it comes to advertisement is, can we make this thing an anime character? Have you noticed every time I've gone to like a new prefecture or something?
Oh, yeah.
And they try to promote whatever that prefecture is famous for.
There's
like,
some really bad mascots.
They're called Yurukara. Yeah, but every prefecture or like city or whatever has this like kind of mascot type thing. Usually, you know, they also make like a giant fucking, you know,
some of them are so fucking ugly.
Yeah,
and they're so bad.
Yeah,
like the designs.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like
making,
I think it's Hakodate or Hokkaido. They have Meron Kuma, which is the bear with the melon on his head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's just a fucking black bear with a melon on his head. This got nothing to do with Hokkaido.
Yeah, I've started to notice this because I went to Yamanashi Prefecture like a month ago, and then they were trying to advertise their wine because of course they did. And how they did that was they had a boy idol group that they had made to represent all the different wines that were made there.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, really? You had to get like, France is crying right now, man. Fucking all of Europe is crying. What have you done to our wine, man?
Wait, so it's like I'm Chardonnay.
Yeah. Literally like that.
Merlot, he's a little dark and spicy.
and they had made their own fucking like anime trailer for these boys as well. And I'm just like, oh,
I need to see this.
Oh, what are you doing?
Wait, let me look it up. It's just like Yamanashi wine.
This as well, like outside of Harajuku, I don't know if it's still there for a very long time. In front of the exit, there was this like anime manga panel, and it looked like a romance thing, but it was advertising password safety.
Yes.
You know the thing I'm talking about?
Yes. I totally. It's in front of Harajuku. Yeah.
It's like a guy and a girl texting, and they're in love or something, and then I can't remember why, but it's literally all just about securing your passwords, and it's like, what the fuck?
I love. Yeah, it literally just if you just take a glance at it, it just looks like a panel from like a standard shoujo romance manga.
Right.
But then when you look at what they're actually
What if I
saying,
can find it? Like,
Yeah.
can we find it, Abby?
I think I remember one of them is like the guy's doing like a kabedon to like the girl, and the girl's like, huh. And then the guy's like, do you want to make this relationship as strong as your password? And then at the bottom in the tiny font, it's just like password security company or something like that. I'm just like, that is so Gigabrain. I love it when they I love it when they're like mix and match mediums and stuff like that for advertisements.
Well, there is an article on Crunchyroll, but it's blocked.
Oh, great.
Because we're in Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
Quickly open ExpressVPN. I think the headline was something about shoujo manga.
Yeah.
Promoting IT safety.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a panel about it. There's a manga.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
She's like cabadoning him there. Hold on, I got
I
it.
just want to protect you as much as your password does.
Yeah. It's this one. Literally like this. Like they're all.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like, hey, make sure to look after your password.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's like I'll be waiting until you change your password. It's so smart.
It's so good.
It's so
fucking
good.
brilliant.
That's so
I remember
brilliant.
because somebody asked me, they were like, I was with someone, they were like, what is that advert? And I was like, oh, it's about passwords. And they're like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's so Gigabrain. I love it.
Yeah, they get really creative with some stuff in like really cool ways. Like the that really famous 3D curved advertising screen in Shinjuku, the one
Oh,
where they
yeah.
play the cat, where the cat jumps out, and they've been, if you want, that's like their equivalent of Times Square now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
In Japan, it's like if you want the billboard, that's the one.
Yeah.
And it's curved. You can do 3D.
It is pretty sick, though.
When One Piece Red was out. They had like a whole One Piece thing playing on it where Luffy like jumps out and there's like
Oh, cool.
or something I can't remember. It was cool.
That sounds like Luffy.
Luffy be like, ah!
Luffy jumping out and screaming. That's Luffy.
He is literally the Tyler Wan of anime.
Yeah.
Hey, we should formulate a plan. Woo!
But what always interests me is like, sometimes seeing like the anime tie-in like products and just kind of seeing the lengths they will go to with Evangelion, see how they can tie Ava into this one product.
Pachinko.
Pachinko's like easy mode,
very
man.
popular.
Yeah,
They have
Pachinko's like
Pachinko.
easy mode. I think the weirdest Ava one I ever saw was I think they were advertising like horse race betting or something like that, and they had made
They were doing
this-
they were doing boat race betting as well.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Because what I saw like Ava Unit 1 as like a horse, like running
What
it
the
down,
fuck?
and like Gendo was betting on him. I was like, this is the weirdest ass shit I've ever seen in my life.
What I love is the absolute dichotomy where it's like, we will not give the English rights to license this to anybody for 20 years. Oh yes, go ahead, make Horseman gamble. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're so strict with who we give our IP out to, unless it's Minions and cleaning products. And it's like, what the fuck? Why do you become super strict about who gets to do it when it comes to foreign people? And having an English adaptation. Like,
It's just
what
like
the
we
fuck?
don't want you to ruin the image of our IP. Meanwhile, here's what we do with our IP. You know, it blows my fucking.
It's so
mind.
like double-sided. Like same thing like with like even like Nintendo, right? Like Nintendo love to be like, we are so stringent with our IP. If you go to some arcades, there are certain machines that are Mario Party gambling machines. Have you seen these?
Yeah.
It's basically a 6-player Mario Party gambling machine where it's with real money. You play and you try and progress around the board to win more money. Yeah. It's like, I'm sorry, what, Nintendo? Like, no guns in games, but gambling is cool.
Yeah.
But it's in Japan. It's
It's fine. It's in
Well,
Japan.
it's in terms of like the image that Japan has in terms of that advertising, I'd say a lot of it is actually like pretty normal. It's not as crazy as what people think.
Yeah, that's what I'm
it is.
saying. Like, there's definitely crazy ones out there, but it's certainly not the majority.
Because I'm going to say, in Thailand are actually fucking amazing and making crazy ass fucking commercials.
I've seen some Thai commercials that I saw on YouTube that are like more heart wrenching than some of like the most heaviest drama films I've seen in my life.
There are some Thai commercials that are just
I cried to watch
that are just like a 2-minute short film and then it ends and it's just like, have you heard about life insurance? And I'm just like, yo, you just fucking yanked my heart out for
To
life
be fair,
insurance.
for life insurance,
Yeah.
you're working with the easiest thing to make a
Yeah,
song.
but these ads are like
How the fuck
like
is Cheerios going to make a song?
But these ads are like short films.
And there are like so many Thai ads that don't get uploaded on YouTube that are just weird as fuck. Like I remember, I'm having like a flashback of just some of the adverts I saw as a kid when I was in Thailand watching on TV. And I remember I was in Thailand watching some show and then it cut to commercial. And then it showed the scene of like a group of like robbers or like bank heist people. And they had like broken into this building.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, I think we got the wrong building. I don't think this is the bank. And one guy goes, oh, I think this is like the supermarket. Like there's a fridge over there. And so they were like, why is there all these like drinks here? Have we gotten to the wrong place? And so like they start drinking it to like try it out. And then it zooms out to be like, it's a commercial for an optician to be like, do you need a new prescription for your glasses? And it zooms out, and the building they've broken into is a sperm bank. and watching that as a kid, I'm just like, what is this?
That's so good.
What am I watching
what's
right
the joke,
now?
Dad?
That's so good.
It's like some shit you'd see in like American Pie or something, and I'm like, that was a weird thing to see as a kid, and like. Go Google some Thai commercials because they have some wild ass shit there.
But that's the thing. I feel every country has their fair share of like what the fuck type of
We have
commercials.
pretty boring
right?
ads in the UK, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
In Australia, for instance, like there was one ad that just stuck with me forever. It was an ad for Cadbury chocolate. And I think it actually won like a
Was
like
it the British one?
like
the one with the...
Was it the gorilla?
the gorilla one.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah, that was
massive.
everywhere.
Everyone was like, I remember when I was a kid, when that came on the TV, everyone was like, the ad's on, the ad's
Yeah,
on.
he's like, it's the gorilla. He's playing in the air tonight on drums.
Honestly, that was probably
That's by far the biggest
the
one.
most
Yeah.
genius ad I've seen.
Yeah, there's another one. I don't know if it's British or Australian. It probably is Australian, but there's a one for some kind of Australian beer. And it's this couple that's like sleeping in the bed.
Yeah.
And the guy is just sleeping next to his girl and whatever. And his tongue starts crawling out of his mouth. and it like a worm.
Right.
And it goes like across, it goes out of the house and it crawls across the road to this house party and goes into the cooler, grabs a beer, brings it back,
Yeah.
and crawls it all the way to the guy's mouth, and then the guy wakes up with the beer in his mouth, and it's like, have
Yeah.
a beer. and it's but like at the time the CG was so good that it was so incredibly disturbing seeing this
Yeah.
realistic tongue just like like out of this guy's mouth and just crawling around on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, just shit like that.
I think some adverts I remember that like stand out to me.
Yeah.
We had like the gorilla one, which was like fucking
that was
like
huge.
huge. And another one, I think it was ad for, obviously didn't do its job because I can't remember the product it was selling.
Yeah.
But I remember the advert itself because it had that song where it was just like doon 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 doon, and it looked like a pretentious film about surfers because
Okay.
there was this one surfer. And you just hear the song in the background, just going doon 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 doon, and then like the announcer comes on, and he just goes, he waits. That's what he does. The perfect wave. Tick follows tock, follows tick, follows tock, follows tick, and it just fucking builds up, and he finds that perfect wave. And I don't know why that advert just like sticks in my mind so much. I'm pretty sure it's a fucking beer advertisement. I want to watch it.
It sounds so avant-garde when you like describe it to me.
No, it was avant-garde.
I love like anti-drug commercials as well. Those are fun.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
they're always like insane.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, who can forget that legendary ad? The one I think it's an Irish ad. The one where the car, it's like a drunk driving PSA, and
Yeah.
the car topples over and hits like 20 kids. Have you
Oh,
seen,
yes.
Have you seen this one?
I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
seen
yeah.
That one's like, whoa.
Yeah,
Who
yeah.
thought of this one?
Oh
Someone
god.
had a dark day at the office.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
All right.
feeling like a tangent.
Okay,
All
go
right, I
on.
feel like go for the tangent.
Anime tropes we love to hate.
Isekai.
That's not a trope, Joey.
It
That's
is now.
not a trope.
It is now.
High school.
How'd you guys?
Do we hate it?
I hate it. Yes, I do. The moment I see an anime now and it's like, he's a normal high school. Like Cyberpunk 2077, I nearly clocked out when he was in school because I was like,
Do you mean Edge Runners?
sorry, Edge Runners. Yeah, sorry, Edge Runners.
Yeah.
When he was in school, I was like, I swear to fucking God, if they made Cyberpunk and they put it in a fucking school, I'm going to lose it. And then, of course, he leaves school that episode.
Yeah,
I'm
luckily.
like,
Yeah.
thank God. But like, I'm just so over anything with high school. I think I've said this before in the anime. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just bored.
Yeah.
How do we feel? Because this is one of the things that's like parodied the most.
Right.
But like the over explanations when it comes to anime fights.
Oh, the Setsume Shio.
Yeah.
bad.
And let's take JoJo and Baki out of this conversation because I feel
Right.
like those are so ridiculous. I need the explanations.
Yes,
you know?
of course.
I need them.
So like you're talking about like say like in a sports anime, for example, where like as you know, this like second by second play is happening.
Yeah.
Some guy in the fucking crowd has time to do a 3-minute explanation of
Or
what's
not
happening.
like sports anime or even like any shonen battle anime.
Yeah.
Fucking
I do
half
like-
of Hunter x
I
Hunter was
do
that.
like the Hunter x Hunter narration though. I don't
Yeah.
know, there's something about it.
It's
Gon realized he fucked up.
I don't know. I think it's just like so commonplace now where I just don't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
I do think it's kind of lazy. I feel like if you make it interesting, you can convey all this information without needing to tell the audience.
Right.
Yeah.
Show don't tell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this because I think it's just something we've accepted that anime just fucking does.
Yeah.
You know, this is just a thing. We are gonna explain what's happening. And it's not only until like recently when we've just seen examples where it's been handled better than it has in the past. Like I think Jujutsu Kaisen has had a really good balance between showing what's happening versus like explaining what's happening. And I recently did like a video on like manga adaptations, and I realized I've realized what difference it makes when you just take out the explanation, take out the explaining, and just show what's happening on screen. And it's just like, holy shit, this works so much better. It just takes so much more effort.
Yeah.
But so few anime actually go out and do it.
Yeah. And that's the problem, right? Is that like some of the best stories in manga and anime, you know, don't require a whole lot of explanation or even dialogue to like tell you what's happening. Like, you know, like Blam, for example, right? Like that manga
Yeah.
has barely any dialogue at all,
Yeah.
but it's still coherent enough because it shows you every step of the way visually. And as long as you can like kind of put the pieces together as to like the sequence of what's happening, then it's fucking epic. But the problem is, as you said, it just takes more brain power to figure out what's happening because it's very much open to interpretation, right? So I think they've just like, maybe it is laziness. I don't know. Maybe the authors just have decided being like, well, I could show them, but at the same time, I'm afraid to alienate any readers into what exactly is happening, and it might, deter them from enjoying the rest of the story.
It comes
right?
from manga, right? So I think that's why we often get this over explanation kind of approach to it,
because you need it in manga.
you need it.
You can't
Dude,
show it.
there's so many manga that I've shown in manga that I really struggle to see what's going on in the fight.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Am I the only person who has this problem?
No.
There are some fights where I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
There are some manga that are better than others.
Sometimes I am looking at the battle and I am reading the panels, like going over it 4 times, and I'm like, I still in my head cannot figure out what's happening.
You read Claymore, didn't you?
Yeah, I read all of Claymore. That was hard.
Holy shit! Because I've reread it like recently, and that was almost fucking impossible to discern what's happening.
Especially
because
the later fights.
because
it gets,
like
weird.
in group fights, you have like all of these Claymore where all of them are like silver-haired women wearing the same fucking uniform, and I'm like, who is even fighting right now? I actually cannot tell who's swinging the sword.
Yeah.
it's that one was like hard.
But I think that's the thing, right? It's like it's all up to the different author on like their skill on being able to like show the flow of movement, right? Like the reason why like Berserk, for example, like Mira did such a good job on that is that like a lot of the fights don't really have an explanation, right?
Yeah.
And if there is an explanation, it's maybe like 1 or 2 frames, right?
Yeah.
But he was such a master.
Berserk was really easy to follow.
Yeah, because he
Like,
was
what
such
exactly
a
is going on.
master at like figuring out the flow of movement and like where to show it and how to show it, that it was just very self-explanatory, even in like big fights, right?
Claymore was hard to follow.
Yeah.
Even though the Claymore has amazing fucking art, like the monster design in Claymore is like incredible.
Yeah.
But the way the story went, because of how the story was structured around a group of people who basically look exactly the same and all dress exactly the same, and have the same kind of weapons, just
I really
big
liked
swords.
the world of Claymore, though.
I really liked the world
Yeah,
of
Claymore
It
was
a really
great.
Cool
Yeah,
world.
it was a really cool. It was a really cool
You should
world.
check it out if you haven't.
Yeah.
The anime was quite good, but stopped.
Don't. The anime had a original ending. Remember when anime had like?
did.
Yeah.
And remember when the anime just went its own path and was gonna like, and was like, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna end it my
like,
own.
I
way.
don't
To
think
be
I
fair, the
will.
best part of Claymore anyway is the part up until like that's the
halfway point?
first half.
Yeah, the first half,
That's when
yeah.
it's good anyway.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no high school in it, so that's why it's pretty good.
What'd you hate about high school?
Is there a single anime that's based in high school that is like, I can forgive this?
Yeah, like I mean, okay. There are a lot of shows where it makes a lot of sense, and I've gone on this rant before, and there's a lot of shows where I just feel like if anything, it detracts from it. Like obviously, like Light being a college student or a high school student as well. I have no qualms about that. That makes sense in the story. It adds to the reason why you'd never suspect this character to be doing this stuff because he's a normal high school student. But there's other ones where I'm just like Tokyo Revengers. Do they really need to be high school students? Like straight up, like that show is.
Actually, they were middle school students.
It's even worse. Like I went on this whole rant when we talked about this before, but like, Tokyo Revengers was actually ruined for me because they are all middle school students. Like it makes the show so much shitter. I don't understand why they did that.
But it's such an interesting dichotomy, isn't it? Because we say that about Tokyo Revengers, and yet we're okay with Hanayama from Baki being 14.
Baki,
Isn't it? It's such
okay,
a weird
if
like.
you guys have watched Baki, they're all high school students, but like it's like not even the main character's high school student fighting like fully grown men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It literally nothing in Baki makes any sense,
Yeah.
so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And also, he's literally never in school.
No.
He's a high school student. He's the worst high school student in Japan. He's never. How is that man not expelled? I don't like it. He is never at school. Where are the police? I guess they. But then
Do you think the police are going to stop him?
he talks to the fucking U.S. military at one point. I don't think it's an issue. I'm sorry if there's if in this world the U.S. military comes and talks to a high school student about like asking him to not fight because he's basically a weapon of mass destruction, I think all other normal rules go out the window.
So listen, your dad just talked to Obama the other day. We
Yeah.
discussed this.
Yeah.
Don't.
I think the series that jarred me the most in terms of like adding high school in it, This is a pretty old one actually. It's a Owari no Seraph. Seraph
Yeah.
of the End.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
do you
yes.
remember this? So like the first.
I really like this show, but
Yeah, I like the show as well. But like, so like, I remember the first like 2 or 3 episodes. We are introduced to this like post-apocalyptic world where vampires are taken over, and there's only like sects of
so
humanity.
sick.
Yeah.
And it's
Such a
it's a
cool
fucking
world.
amazing world. The main character wakes up and he's like, he finds out that he's just like food for the vampires. He has to escape and all this, and you're like, damn, this world's metal. He escapes, finds like the Freedom Squad, the revolutionaries, the last remaining humans. And then there's a fucking high school arc, and I'm just like, you're in a
Yeah,
post-apocalyptic
yeah.
world, motherfucker. You have tried really fucking hard. You have tried really fucking
I
hard to
completely forgot about that.
to like bring high school into this, but you've managed it somehow, and I don't know why you thought this was a good idea.
And it's so weird because later on they pretty much just drop that all anyway. So I don't that was a show that I think that really like plagued it. Like because
Yeah.
it was when it first came out, it was like really especially the anime. Like people were freaking out about it.
Yeah.
It just dropped after Attack on Titan, had a similar kind of edginess to it and
Yeah,
vibe
yeah.
people were looking for. And I think it just the high school kind of element ruined it.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of if like halfway through season 1 of Attack on Titan they just like go back to school.
Yeah,
It's like,
Attack on Titan just realized it was like, let's just fucking make these children grow up. Like,
Yeah.
let's just actually have like a good fucking arc.
I would like for more stories to be set outside of high school, and I think we're slowly starting to see that. I don't know.
or at least like if it's going to be in a high school, get it to the point where we get to see them once they're out of school or something, like, or once they're
Yeah.
like Beastars did a really good job of that, where like it starts off in a school, but then the second half he's not in the school anymore, and he's
Yeah.
like out in the real world, and like that, I think like balance is cool. I don't mind
Yeah.
that.
A lot of people always argue that like it's more relatable to the target audience.
Yes.
And I'd say, what aspect of Jotaro do I relate to? If it's him being a 17-year-old kid as a high school student. You know what I mean? Like, I feel this argument of it being more targeted is like,
But there's a reason why Josuke is the only JoJo that was in a high school.
yeah, right?
Right, like even fucking even Jotaro, right? Like even though he's a
Yeah.
high school student, you never see him in the fucking
right,
school.
like I find that they spend a lot of shows where they have a high school protagonist often spend no time in high school anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the point of even bringing this up? Just and sometimes I find that kids aren't that fucking dumb. I feel like people think kids are so much more stupid than they are, that if it's just not the same, if they're not in the exact same situation, they can't relate or have some kind of tie to it. And it's like, yes, obviously, when I was in school and Harry Potter was going on, that was something I could relate to a lot more, and that was a banger. But
Yeah.
it wasn't like I didn't want to watch 24 and Jack Bauer go around shooting people. You know what I mean? Like I find that kids want those other stories anyway. So stop saying that the only reason is because they're targeting high school students.
Well,
Like,
it's
I
in
find that they're not that dumb.
In the case with Japan, it goes both ways. It's the fact that yes, they're trying to target high school students who are currently in high school, where it's like, oh, this character I like is also in high school, I relate. But it's also targeted towards younger adults who have just come out of high school as well.
Yeah.
Where because to a lot of Japanese people, this idea of like in high school and being a student was kind of like a golden age,
That's
right?
the,
Of
that's
like,
the saddest thing. I've
which
ever
is a
done.
really
That's the
sad, but
saddest-
it's the truth, you know.
That's
Like
the worst
it's like
period of my life.
it's like
That.
yeah.
That's when
But
I got so much better when I
Yeah,
left.
which is weird, right? Because it's this. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it before, but it's
Yeah,
like
yes.
it's
Yeah.
this weird like difference in between the West and Japan. Of like in Japan, high school is like a time where it's like I wish I was back there, and then in the West, high school's movies and stuff like that are always like, look how shit high school was. Can you relate, guys? Being an adult is so much better,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
just this like weird dichotomy. So it's like I get that sometimes they want to do it for that purpose, but I also do agree that a lot of the times they just throw it into a fucking high school because like, oh, that's an easy setting. I don't have to come up with like an original concept for a setting or a world.
Yeah.
And then minus double points if it's in a school and then there's unnecessary lewdness all the time or fan service where they're just like groping each other and you're like, what?
I mean, that's literally every
mean-
ecchi manga and anime.
I
ever.
know.
Yeah, I mean, most of that has been transferred over to the fantasy genre now. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
most
for sure.
I think high school ecchi has. I don't know if it's going
Because they
out
realized-
of favor.
It's run its course.
Yeah, I think it's running school. Now it's just like let's.
You can get way more degen. If it's not, well, it's not Earth.
Yeah, it's not Earth.
It's another
let's,
world.
Like, you know,
another-
high school doesn't have
Actually,
slimes
talk-
running
talk-
around.
You can't have slaves in high school. You can have that in another world.
talking about tropes. I need to fucking die in anime. Every isekai having slaves, man. What? Fucking what? Even I'm an isekai
There is
fan.
a-
I'm like that. That just needs to fucking.
There is a
go.
weird amount of slavery
I'm
in anime.
so fucking done with it, man. Like, okay, I get it. It's your fantasy world and a lot of like medieval stories. They had slaves in them, but also it's a fantasy world. It's what you're only limited by what your mind can imagine. And why does everyone imagine slavery in their world?
Can we have a fantasy world where everyone is equal? No, that would be nice.
Do we need to have a sit down? And what's going on? Like, why are we trying to bring this back?
It's just every new isekai I swear I watch now. It's just like, oh, there's the rescuing the slave arc. Is he going to free the slave this time, or is he going to take the slave under his own arms?
The slave is falling in love with their master
under the
again.
framing that he's saving the slave. You know?
Fucking hell.
I mean, I'm white, so I don't want to talk too much about slavery, but a lot of the times it feels like, well, we got this character who's kind of just cool. How do we kind of make him more likable?
Yeah.
Let's get him to free some slaves.
Just give him a savior complex. It's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, there's another tangent I want to go on. The most iconic scenes involving bathrooms and toilets in movies and TV shows.
What?
The most iconic scenes involving bathrooms and toilets in movies and TV shows. The only one I can think of is in fucking Trainspotting when he dives into the toilet to get the drugs.
Oh yeah.
Other than that, is there an iconic scene? Oh, and
there's something about Mary.
Oh no.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Have you not seen that movie?
One with the cum?
Yes.
He like jacks.
Explain.
He jacks off into the mirror before the date, right? Or he's jacking off before the
Was
date.
that something about Mary, or was that something else?
Something about Mary, I'm pretty sure, right?
Because
Still alright.
yeah, it is. It's got Cameron Diaz.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
that's something about Mary, right? Is it? Can you Google this? Make sure.
Okay, there's two
There
scenes.
is two, yeah.
Yeah. So there's that, and then there's the scene which I think like.
Wait, hold on. Explain the first scene. All I hear.
So I think Ben Stiller.
all I heard was he
jacking
jacks off into the
'cause
mirror.
He's having a date, and
Yeah.
he wants to, because he might be getting some. So
Right.
he wants to jack off before he goes out.
Okay.
Sticks, maybe he lasts a lot longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes, and he doesn't know where the cum went.
Yeah.
And then it turns out it was behind his ear.
Yeah.
And when
I have seen
And then
this
he
scene.
meets
Yes.
Cameron Diaz at the door, and she's like, "Oh, you have some gel? I'll take that." And she
Yeah.
takes it for some reason and puts it
And puts in her hair. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's an article.
There's an whole article about
Is
it.
it actually possible
It's-
for
it's
cum
an
to be
iconic.
good hair gel?
Breaking it
Yeah.
down.
But no, the scene I was thinking of, I don't know if this is still there's something about Mary. It might be something else, but
Yeah.
it's the zipper scene where
I can't remember this one.
I think it. It is Ben Stiller. He's pissing in the toilet.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of like he's just staring out the window, right? And he's just kind of like having like 1,000-yard stare or whatever. And then he realizes he's staring at the window of a girl getting changed or something like that.
Right.
And so he starts to panic, and then he zips up, and
Is this
then-
40-year-old virgin?
no, this isn't 40-year-old
Really?
virgin.
Crazy.
It's I'm pretty sure it's Ben Stiller.
So basically, he zips his schlong up.
You say this scene to me, and I feel like it's Steve Carell in my mind. I don't know why. Like, why am I picturing 40-year-old?
Maybe there's a Steve Carell scene as well.
Maybe there's a Steve Carell scene.
Maybe he's remade it.
Yeah, but it's
Paying homage.
Yeah, but it's iconic because even just describing that, every man in the world, basically you hear him zip up.
Every man in the world winces.
He zips up and he screams. And then there's oh god, it's a fucking iconic scene. There's a scene where he asks for help, and basically every guy who's just like, okay, let me help you. They look at what has like what he's got himself into, and they're just like, yo, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And the most fucked up thing is there's a shot where they actually show what has happened. There's a shot where the zipper is entangled with the skin, and it's just like for a second, and you're just, and that is now like become a core memory. That has become a core memory in my mind.
Oh, my balls just went.
And everyone who's watched that film.
I'm going to Google iconic bathroom scenes because now I'm drawing a blank.
The only other one I can think of is I forgot which Austin Powers film it is.
Oh no!
But there's that scene where he's inside the lair of Dr. Evil, and he like runs into the bathroom, and as he's taking this like extremely long piss, the two henchmen are talking like some like secret talks or whatever.
Yeah.
But he can't hear him because the piss is so loud, so he stops to listen, and the henchman just like look at him really suddenly, and he just starts pissing. He's like, and he just does that on and off for like 5 minutes. That's the only other one I can think of.
Home Alone one where he's getting changed and then he slaps his face and goes with the aftershave.
Oh,
Was that one?
Wait, what was that?
In Home Alone, when he's getting ready and then he applies the aftershave to his like bare skin.
Yeah.
And he screams because obviously it burns.
Yeah.
He's not a man yet. Fuck, I had my leg up and all the blood's rushing back to my leg. I did find the scene you're talking about. It's from Along Came Polly, right?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting those two mixed up.
Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ben Stiller and iconic bathroom scenes, man. What can you say?
Also, there's The Shining. It's technically in a bathroom. It's Johnny.
Yeah, that is a bathroom.
Oh yeah, haven't actually seen.
I actually heard a really fun, little factoid about that is that like the actress, I forgot her name, but you know how she's like fucking terrified and screaming?
Yeah.
That was apparently a genuine reaction because she didn't know that they were actually going to get a real axe and actually go through the door. So she's actually freaking out.
Well, Kubrick was a fucking madman.
Yeah.
AKA asshole.
AKA dickhead.
He wasn't ass. He made amazing fucking movies, but hearing about some of the stories that happen on set in everyone in his films, I would hate to work for.
There was also that scene in The Shining that I think apparently took 127 takes.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
Yeah, and they made them redo it just so they can get mentally fatigued and actually fucking just crazy.
Yeah,
because of how many times he asked them to redo the take and everything like that.
What an asshole!
And in A Clockwork Orange, where they had the scene where they propped up the eye.
Oh, yeah.
And he actually scratched his cornea or something like that. And so when he's screaming, stop, he was actually screaming because
it was legit.
Like he had scratched his cornea and he was like screaming in pain. And Kubrick's like, nah.
Kubrick's like, keep rolling. This is great.
This is a good take.
This is a good film.
This is
way back when movies just were starting and becoming a big thing and a lot of money was being put into it. Like a lot of people just died during filming stuff.
Yeah.
Like big scenes like Colosseum scenes or like there's a Noah's Ark film where just a bunch of people died.
Well, there's that famous one of like, The Never Ending Story.
No.
It's like this fantasy film, The Never Ending Story, like really famous in the US. But there's this scene where like the kid is like pulling a horse through a swamp.
Yeah.
And the horse like slowly starts to like sink. Apparently that horse actually died in that
way
scene.
back in Animals and movies, they did not give a
That horse straight up died in that scene, and they cut it right before the horse actually like drowned and died. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
That is depressing.
Yeah,
man.
it's super depressing.
Shit. Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is there was this Texas Chainsaw Massacre where there's a scene where
the first one.
I think it's the first one. There's a scene where because it was so hot where they were filming and the main murderer had to wear like the mask during filming and he was getting like heat stroke and he accidentally like there was a scene where he cuts like one of the girl's finger and he actually cut the finger and she was screaming in real pain. But he was so delirious that he like didn't know that he was actually cutting like a real finger.
Jesus.
And
Bloody
like,
hell.
just like the shit you can get away with, like back then. God, someone's getting a lawsuit nowadays, man. Holy
Far
shit!
out, dude.
Sorry, I'm looking at more iconic bathrooms.
Yeah,
Iconic bathroom
What's some more
scenes.
iconic bathroom scenes?
Put iconic shitting scenes.
I mean, again, going back to Austin Powers with the fat bastard, like sitting on the toilet, and he's like, "But I didn't have any
There
corn."
are so many iconic bathroom scenes in Austin
mean-
Powers. Thinking about like that first scene when he wakes up and he's like de-thawed and he spends like ages on the urinal and he's just like.
That's because Austin Powers is like the epitome of like pee-pee poo-poo jokes in film. It's like that's why we love it.
I'm actually going to ChatGPT like 10 iconic cooking scenes.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's the
yeah.
one with Dumber and Dumber where they have the laxatives. He drinks laxatives, he starts shitting like
Oh,
crazy.
there's also that scene in White Chicks as well where he has the cheese accidentally.
Yeah. There's also,
I love that
also,
scene.
in-
God, White Chicks is a film that would not film today. I'm just thinking about it. That would be a film that would be cancelled so fast.
Do you think
today.
Tropic Thunder could be made nowadays?
American Pie,
Hell
there's
no.
like so many. Like,
Oh
there's one
my
where he's like
God.
shaving his pubes,
Yeah.
and then he for some reason throws the pubes out the window, and they get blown into like one of the wedding venues. It's something stupid.
Oh my
There's-
god.
Every other scene in American Pie
Yeah,
is
pretty
like
much
half.
horny.
What happened to toilet humor? I remember when every other like comedy film had toilet humor in it, and now we're just like, oh, we're better than that. I'm like,
I don't know.
are we better than that? I don't think we are. I
Resource
don't,
music.
I don't think we are.
Because I still love that line in American Pie where it's like, I went to band camp and I played a trumpet with my pussy. Like, it's the dumbest line, but it's stuck with me for all these years.
Oh yeah, and he nuts in the sunscreen.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I love those movies, man.
What is the next AI-generated prompt, God? Let me know.
The weirdest food combinations people would actually enjoy.
Toast sandwiches.
Toast sandwich.
Well, this is kind of
Toast sandwich.
This is
Toast
kind of
sandwich.
similar to the last thing, I guess. But
Food
How
combination.
many more
right?
prompts do we have in there? Out of curiosity.
we only have one more after this,
Oh, okay.
actually.
Weird food combinations. Mayo and anything. That's pretty weird.
Japanese mayo.
Japanese mayo.
Japanese mayo. Just give me Japanese mayo, man. Keep your mayo. Just put that with anything.
The
It's
older I
fucking
get,
slap.
the more I like mayo. I don't know why.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like the more I get
Wait, did you
older-
never like Cupid?
As a kid, I remember hating mayonnaise. I used to think it was disgusting. It looked vile as well.
Well, but I
Like,
mean,
UK mayo is.
yeah, I mean,
looks-
Western mayo is like different.
Yeah.
right?
Well, we have like the widest shade of white mayo, and it's like.
Isn't
it's
it like a little bit more
like
watery
jelly.
as
Yeah,
well?
like-
Yeah, I never liked that. Yeah, that one's gross.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah, Japanese mayo all the
Every
way.
day is cream.
What about adding cheese? What does cheese not work with?
Okay, let him cook.
Huh?
Let him cook. What do you suggest?
What did cheese
No,
not
I-
work with?
Because I asked this because growing up, okay, well, there was a big separation for me between like, let's say, Western food and Asian cuisine, and the concept of like adding cheese to like a lot of like Thai cuisine and like Asian cuisine, I was just like, I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But then I discovered Korean cuisine that does that. I'm like, oh, maybe this can work. maybe we need to think about this a bit more.
Yeah.
You know, because
Same with like
Cheese
cheese.
is like a crutch for food, I think, because like, not for at least for foods that are bad can be made more edible with cheese on them because cheese is so good at overpowering anything else it's combined
Yeah.
with.
Right.
And I find that normally it's, at least in Japan and stuff, the cheaper the food, the more chance there'll be cheese involved.
yeah.
That's
just
true.
because they're like, all right, let's put some cheese to mask this. It'll be like, I don't know, what will they have cheese with on here? A lot of the time, like Asian food, I don't really want cheese with it.
Okay, how do we feel about cheese and rice?
That's a little strange.
Okay, what? Can you give me an example of food?
Like just a bed of rice with some fucking cheese on top.
Honestly,
no.
honestly,
I've never
it's pretty-
tried it,
it's-
but
I've tried it. It's
could,
pretty good.
It could
Yeah.
be good. I mean,
Yeah,
I,
because
I
we-
mean, mayo and rice is nice. So
That mayo and cheese are not the same thing.
yeah, I know. But what I'm saying,
I like mayo
Yeah,
and
because
rice.
I was just like cheese and rice that would never work.
No, it does work.
Yeah, and then I tried it in a few places in Japan. I'm like, okay, this
Because
might-
it's like the pasta of Asia.
cheese and carbs, right?
Like, you know what I mean? It's just
cheese and
Like,
carbs.
carbs and
Yeah.
cheese go like hand in hand.
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't fuck with people when they put like nacho cheese on like broccoli or something. I've had that a few times in Japan. I've
Cheese
ordered.
on broccoli?
Yeah, it'll be like cheese broccoli, and then I order it, and it's like nacho cheese, like the canned nacho.
Oh,
they
yeah,
pour
that's-
on, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
but
what the
what
fuck?
does that go well with? You know,
I would argue nothing. I will accept it with.
Oh, really? I put
the
mayonnaise on it.
Wait, sorry, with
No, no.
On broccoli.
no.
Sorry,
We're talking about
sorry,
nacho
like
cheese.
nacho
Oh, nacho
cheese.
cheese.
The
no,
fucking cheese sauce.
No,
I'm like-
that's not food.
I'm like that
I
barely
don't
goes
like it.
with nachos. Give me real cheese with nachos.
Yeah, give me real
Is-
cheese
Is
with
there
nachos.
any point where I would choose that fucking fake cheese over the
No.
real cheese? No.
What's that?
But I'm trying to think. Is there anything cheese doesn't go well with? Is cheese just the hack?
I was
Aside from, like-
gonna say cake, but we literally have cheesecake.
Yeah, we literally have cheesecake. Fuck. Is cheese just that OP?
No, cheese is very OP.
Cheese is
I'm
OP.
just like thinking.
Problem is
oh.
that it's just fat and carbs, so when you add it
Yeah.
to stuff, it makes it way more unhealthy.
There's got to be like some dish or like
I used to eat
food
cheese
item
as a kid.
where if you
Yeah.
put it with cheese, it becomes immediately disgusting.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Oh,
Fruit.
Well,
oh no, because you can get like burrata and some fruit.
You're right.
Yeah, and you get like fondue as well.
That's
where
true.
You dip like
The-
food.
I think because
apple and
cheese is
stuff
so
in there.
versatile, generally, like there's so many different flavors you can have with it.
Yeah.
But I think there's a cheese for everything. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
I think there is. I think there's a cheese for everything.
Okay, this is
Cheesy quality.
This is one thing I don't get. Where I've been to like some, let's say, high class restaurants, right?
Okay.
And they have a cheese course which comes after the main course, and I think the French do this a
Yeah.
lot, where they have cheese as like a dessert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I do not get
I
that.
get it. Because normally you're just drinking at that point, right? So it's more of like a snacking thing, and it's not like a very heavy, sweet like taste. It's like you can have a little bite, savoriness, but it is a lot. I will admit.
I don't know how people can handle it because by the time I finish the main course, I'm like, I'm fucking done. And they're like, oh, we have another cheese course, and I'm like, what? You want me to eat savory stuff after this? I'm fucking dying, man.
Yeah, I mean, like
Must-
I barely get the dessert after a course anyway, because I'm, as you said, like I want to be full with the main course, right? So I
Yeah.
don't have space for anything else. But like sometimes I've been tempted to be like, yeah, I'll take a little nibble of some cheese. You know, why
Take
not?
a little nibble of some
but-
cheese.
But
Yeah.
the problem is that a lot of those like cheese boards is like it's like 6 or 7 pieces of different cheese. So it's just
Yeah.
like that's just like I was expecting maybe 2. You know,
Yeah,
it's just too much.
What else should we do?
yeah. Sweet and savory can work, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do, I think. And if-
Okay,
I'm not a fan of like red bean things being like a
like kidney
dessert.
beans.
No, they're like the red bean dessert.
red
Oh,
bean
like
paste
uncle.
desserts.
Yeah, they have Ancor and they try and make it like they add it to stuff. And I'm
Like what? Like ice cream and stuff.
like, yeah, ice cream. It's like.
But are you a
forcing-
fan of the red bean paste to begin with?
Sometimes I've had it and it's pretty good, but I'm rarely like super hyped
Right.
about it because I feel like it's just because Japan just didn't have sugar for a long time, so they were like, let's just use this. Like, just admit it, Japan. Like, you didn't have sugar, and this is what you make. This is your dessert.
Yeah, but I mean it's good.
I'm convinced they have a bean surplus, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Well, yeah, of course they are. That's
They
why
just-
we figured out 70 million ways to use the soybean.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, they put soy with everything.
Yeah.
Soybeans in everything.
We've literally figured out every combination possible to use on a soybean.
You put it in the garbage for a week, you're like, oh shit, I can't eat. Wait a minute.
Oh, it's natto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We can turn it into a sauce.
yeah,
There's
I'm-
got to be some stuff. That's so
I'm not a
obvious.
fan of red bean paste either. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know if you have to like grow up with it. Do you think we like chocolate so much because we grew up with it, or is it just actually that OP?
Something in your brain is like goes happy.
Sugar, yes.
Happy from sugar.
Yes.
It's like, ooh, yes. But I guess it's in different forms, right? So I
Yeah,
suppose-
give me more sugar.
But
Yeah.
there's natural sugars. I don't know. Fucking talking about.
But like chocolate plus like something different other than like a marshmallow, like a mint chocolate.
I like chocolate with fruit. It's good.
Chocolate with fruit's good.
combo.
Chocolate
OP
with
combo.
fruit is good. One thing I've not
Like chocolate covered strawberries and stuff.
Yeah, it makes strawberries a lot better.
Yeah, hell yes.
yeah.
Chocolate
What
oranges.
I mean, if it can make you like oranges, that's
It's the only way
that's
that
how
orange.
OP
It's the only way that orange is edible.
Yeah. There's actually one thing I don't like, which a lot of people do like. Salted chocolate. Never been a fan.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, never been a fan.
Oh.
Same thing with chocolate, with chili chocolate as well.
I don't like chili chocolate.
Chili chocolate. I don't understand.
I don't get chili chocolate.
Why people do that?
No.
I'm Thai. I love spicy chili stuff.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of my desserts.
Yeah,
out
I
of my
don't like.
sweets,
I've
man.
never understood chili chocolate.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Connor?
I like chili chocolate.
What do you like about it? Because what I don't like about it is the fact that it's like I like some spice in my food and I like sweetness, but like spice and sweetness couldn't be further from the opposite
it's
in
just-
terms of palates.
It's like a forbidden. It's like I think that's what makes it kind of nice. It's a little bit forbidden. A little bit taboo.
Would you say it's a little bit devious?
It's a little bit devious.
I'm feeling a little bit devious.
naughty of them to combine these two flavors.
No, it's because I have the same opinion about chili chocolate as whenever I see a shot. I look at like the ingredients of the shots, and it has Tabasco sauce in it, and I'm like,
Oh, like a
Yeah.
Bloody Mary.
and I'm just like, oh fuck, get Bloody Marys away from me. I do not understand Bloody Marys at
Dude,
all.
I
actually.
went out last night and they ordered a Bloody Mary, the person I was with, and this. Look at this fucking thing. Let me show you. I'll try to show the camera. Too.
You know what's kind of weird?
Yeah.
I've never really liked a Bloody Mary, but for some reason, oh my god,
Came with a whole stick of celery.
a whole stick of celery in that.
That's not the wildest shit I've seen.
Like, I mean, you probably can't see this, but I mean,
Yeah.
That ass just came with a
You know
whole stick
what's
of
weird?
celery.
Australians really like Bloody Marys, and I don't know why.
It's because it's the
All-
drink of alcoholics.
All of my
it is. It's like it's how alcoholic. It's like the smoothie for alcoholics.
It's the hangover alcoholic drink. You know?
I'm detoxing. I'll have
Yeah.
a tomato drink this time.
I don't get it because you're just eating a meal. You know, it
Yeah.
feels like a meal, and the wildest shit is the.
I got one after. I
Okay.
know it.
The wildest shit I've seen is like the Bloody Marys in Wisconsin, which I think is like more unhealthy than most meals. Because I swear to God, like we went to this bar, and Sydney's mum and Sydney loves Bloody Marys, but only from Wisconsin. And I remember I go into this bar, and they order a Bloody Mary, and I'm used to like Bloody Marys having some weird shit in it, like a
Yeah.
celery or something. I swear to God, this wasn't like a cocktail. It was. It was just they took like a meal and they like processed it, put it in this drink, and then out of this drink they had a burger on a stick and some wings that they had put in this drink and served it. I shit you not.
What the fuck?
They put a burger on a stick and then stuck it in the Bloody Mary, and I'm like, this is too far. This has gone too far.
How much is that Bloody Mary? Is it like $20?
Yeah, I think it's about $15-20 to at the bars in Wisconsin.
Man, they will do
I-
anything they can to not eat their vegetables. Huh?
that's
Fucking
the
hell. They're like,
American-
burgers and wings are the same as celery, right?
Yeah.
Not to mock Americans again, I'm sorry, but like a lot of the time they'll have something healthy or the guise of healthy, and then they'll just find 10 other ways to make it unhealthy.
Yeah.
I don't like honey on pizza. I'm not a fan.
Or
I-
like
I
honey
do-
on cheese pizza and
I
stuff.
don't agree.
Yeah.
I think it's abomination.
See,
pizza.
I'm of the same opinion
Yeah.
as pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Get sweet stuff off of my
Yeah,
pizza.
I agree. Pineapple on pizza too is the
Yeah.
ultimate does not work combo.
Yeah.
Stop
Oh,
trying
okay.
to stop trying to make it work.
What about pineapple in a burger?
I'm still not.
I'm
Hawaii can do all they want. I'm not budging.
I'm not sold, but it's not as bad as pineapple on pizza for me.
What about like sweet